All right, so I'd like to give you guys a little property tour this evening. It's after work, so it's a little late, but everything is blooming. So maybe I could get all this in before the sun goes down. I did a tour, I don't know, a year, maybe 2 years ago. It wasn't very good. This one probably won't be either, but anyway, there's the front gate. There's my car. Subaru Outback, best car ever. I love that car so much. So, front of the property, there. Behind me, there's a windmill and the potager. And Chloe's circle. There's a circle that she runs multiple times a day. She's very fit. She's a very fit dog. So there's Chloe's racetrack, the windmill. Now around that windmill, that's where I'm gonna put all my sunflowers. So you can see the fence that my husband and I put up. When we moved here, this lot was completely vacant, no fence, no house. There was a driveway and a pad where an old house used to be. A tree had landed on it during Hurricane Ike back in, gosh, what year was that? 2008, and destroyed the house. And the land had been vacant since 2008 until we bought it in 2016. So we first thing we did was fence the entire thing. Behind us used to be thick woods, just thick woods, and they cleared it for houses less than 6 months after we moved here. So windmill there. We've got 2 beautiful live oaks, one there and one there. Those stay green all year with leaves. We've got some Thuja green giant shrubs along this fence. There's a little Japanese maple. There's my potager. So the front of the property is a pretty good size. Like I was saying, we have 1.3 acres. And the way that it's shaped, it's a very unusual, like a wedge shape. It's hard to explain, but to me it makes the property feel quite a bit larger. On the other side of the driveway in the front, it kind of dips down. It makes like a bowl. That's to hold all the water. But we're on a pretty good high spot here because during Hurricane Harvey, when most of Houston flooded, like really bad, I think the water in our front yard maybe got to our shin, just a little bit higher than ankle deep. So we're actually on a good lot here. So when we moved here, we were in an RV. So where that house is was a Class C motorhome. We drove it here and parked it and lived in it. And then we got a house in 2017. So, and then I did all the landscaping. I designed that landscaping with an app called iScape. Pretty proud of that, actually. Anyway, okay, so we already looked at the front half of the property on that side of the driveway. Not a whole lot going on but the potager and the windmill. On this side, we've got some Blue Point junipers. This is a gardenia, giant gardenia, and I don't know if it's dead. It has completely defoliated, but I do see some green leaves, so we'll see if it's gonna come back. All along this fence, what's blooming right now is some ruby loropetalum, and it's gorgeous. These pretty little fringe flowers. They're gorgeous. I also have some variegated ligustrum. That's what this is here. That'll start leafing back out and flowering soon. It's mostly evergreen, but it does thin out a bit in the winter, and then it'll flower these beautiful white flowers. But this ruby loropetalum should get about 12 feet tall, so it'll make a nice screen, a nice beautiful screen. I have a limelight hydrangea there that is gotten completely shaded out by these ruby loropetalum, so I'll be digging that up this weekend and moving it into more sun. Right here is a river birch. Let me get my shadow out of the way. So this river birch here I got for free from Liberty County Extension Office. They were giving away free trees, little saplings. This was a teeny tiny little tree, and now it is huge and it has beautiful peely bark. I love me some peely bark. That is so pretty, so pretty. And then I've got another limelight hydrangea back behind this clayera. You can barely see it, and it didn't even flower last year because it needs more sun. Once this river birch leaves out, the sun is completely blocked back there, so we gotta fix that. Like I said, this is some clayera here. This is a Texas star hibiscus. It's already starting to come back from the root. There it is. Yeah, it'll come back from the root. So I'll cut all these stalks down. And then this here is a white rose of Sharon, and it's very columnar. Like, it's very very tall and columnar. I'm glad I put it in this corner. It gets beautiful white flowers. Now this does lose its leaves in winter, but it keeps growing taller and taller, and it'll just leaf back out. So I don't have to cut it back. I don't have to do anything because the stems will be naked all winter, and then they refoliate in spring. So it's beautiful. So like I was saying earlier, I did all the landscaping, and yes, it looks janky, but these bricks were free from Uncle Woody. So Uncle Woody works at Home Depot, and Uncle Woody lets us know when they're trying to give things away, or they've already given it away and he took it home, and do you want some? And we're like, yes, please. Yes, we do, thank you. We've gotten a lot of wood, we've gotten a lot of bricks, we've gotten all the drywall for the man cave back there, all the drywall, the cedar planks that we built the bar out of, all that was free from Home Depot. So I know it's amazing balls. Anyway, back to the tour. Okay, so I do have a video of me putting in these bricks. It's one of my earlier videos, probably one of the first 10 videos I ever did. We have some beautiful shrubs in here. This is an azalea called hardy gardenia. So it's called gardenia, but it's actually an azalea. It's beautiful. And there are so many weeds I have not weeded, but I'm doing this tour anyway. I've got a salvia back there. That is Wendy's. Is it Wendy's Wish? It's one of the Wish salvias. That's that green blob there. And then I have more limelight hydrangea. I need to cut that back, but you can see the old blooms. And of course, another ruby loropetalum. It's gorgeous right now. This one is another juniper that I cannot remember the name of. If I do think of any of these names, though, I will put them on the screen. And then this rose that's gone a little wild. You see it there? It's massive, and I've been training it around the front porch. That's a new dawn rose, and I do see a bloom way over there. Baby pink bloom. It's beautiful, but I need to trim it back. So I'll have to show you footage of this rose when it's in full bloom along this fence or railing to the porch, because it's so beautiful. These dogs are gonna play. They're adorbs. So, oh Lord. This dead bunch of sticks right here is actually a tropical hibiscus. It's called Heat Wave, and it's got variegated leaves, and I'll pop in some footage of that. It's so beautiful. Beautiful flowers, beautiful leaves, really pretty. And this is a loropetalum. It's a dwarf loropetalum called Daruma. So the loropetalum on the fence, that's Ruby, and then some Carolina Night or something, the darker one. And then this one is Daruma. It is also blooming right now. So pretty. I was letting it grow kind of wild, but my husband wanted it trimmed into a hedge, so he has hedged it, which it looks nice as a hedge. That's fine. That's a Bliss Parfuma rose, completely engulfed by weeds. So, girls, knock it off. Shadow's being a good boy. He's a good boy, Shadow. I know you are. You're sweet. I love you the bestest. Anyway, I have some Bliss Parfuma. Mind you, it's February 27th. We have some roses blooming down here. We have rose buds. We have tons of weeds. Hella weeds. Another one over here. Beautiful. It's probably an assassin bug. Anyway, so I have two Bliss Parfuma on either side of the front porch. My husband built our porches on the house. The front and back porch are spectacular, and that is my husband's doing. He's amazeballs. So like I was saying earlier, this whole landscape planting I designed on an app, and we installed it. I did remove 2 of the Blue Point junipers because they were getting too big, so I'll have the one left in the middle, but there were 2 other ones. with all the loropetalum. These are, oh, some purple. They're one of the Southern Living plant collection loropetalums, purple something. Anyway, aren't they gorgeous? I mean, that flower is like a magenta. The flowers that are along the fence line are more of like a hot pink. This one is like a red magenta, just beautiful. And then this rose is a Marie Pavie. There's a special name for this kind of rose. I know it's like a Texas drought tolerant kind of special rose. But there's also another name. I can't think of it right this second. But look how gorgeous those blooms are. I don't know if you can see that. Just the tiniest little blooms, and it is fragrant. This is very fragrant and beautiful. Yeah, so pretty. And we kind of had a gap between the sidewalk and the bed, and we put rocks in it, and of course we don't weed it. We need to. I think my husband took the weed whacker to it, but I actually need to pull out those weeds. Sidewalk we poured in 2020. We were both home because of COVID, and so we did a lot of work. So we poured this sidewalk, and it's so nice to not walk in mud. Before that, we were walking in mud to our cars. And here is a weeping redbud. It's the forest pansy redbud, weeping version. So it has beautiful purple leaves. Now all the other redbuds are showing out with their pretty pink blooms. This one is late every year. This is going to be the third year we've had it. I think the third year. And for 2 years in a row, we're thinking it's dead because it hasn't leafed out yet. But it's still alive, so we'll see how it goes. We do have some Italian cypress, that tall one there. And there's one on the other side I forgot to mention. And then we have more azaleas in the back here. I have some of that hardy gardenia, which is that second one there. And then this first one is a Southern Living plant collection. I believe it's called Autumn Moonlight. I think that's Autumn Moonlight there. So that's kind of the front yard. Sun's going down. I don't know if I have time to do the backyard. We'll see. So, gone over the front. It's the front part of the yard. Now, all my peppers and tomatoes are on a cart up there on the porch. Now, this carport is probably my most watched video on YouTube. This video where we're pouring the cement slab and putting the carport up, we did the slab ourselves. It looks janky because we did it ourselves. It's not professional. You should see the comments on that video. I don't know what people are expecting. We did it ourselves. We don't know what we're doing. But we got the carport and the slab in 2020. So this is pandemic COVID money. We just did all the things. Okay, anyway. So if we come around, so potager's way over there. And then coming around this way, beautiful tree. It's one of my favorite trees because it has two trunks. I love multi-stemmed trees. This is an oak of some sort. So all of the oak trees have leafed out. Like literally it is spring here. It is spring. So this is Grandpa Tree. Grandpa Tree is falling apart. He's getting rotten. Absolutely rotten. As you can see on this side, he's rotten. And we put maybe 100 dowels of lion's mane mushroom on him. And we got nothing. Because I'm going to tell you what, after we drilled holes and pounded in these dowels, we proceeded to have the hottest and driest summer since 2011. So of course the mushrooms aren't going to grow. It's not damp and dark and moist. It was dry and dusty. So I've been so focused on that vegetable garden and that potager. I don't remember the last time I posted a video that wasn't vegetable food growing related. And I need to get back. I need to get back into all the aspects of growing things like landscaping and different flowers and shrubs and trees, and like I'm interested in all the things. I've just been a little vegetable obsessed. So we're gonna work on that in 2023 for sure. Okay, now we're coming to the house and the beds that are around the back porch, which I love. And another reason why I wanted to do this video now, because the azaleas are blooming. This is Miss Gigi Gerbing. It's an old-fashioned azalea, and it is gorgeous. Look at her blooming right now. It's so pretty. And then in front of her here, this is a Japanese maple. This is Bloodgood. I've got some Akuba japonica. These can take deep dark shade and still look beautiful. It's also, I think, called the gold dust plant. I've got some elephant ear down there that hasn't come back yet. That's the old dead stuff. I've got some, this was Mexican heather, but the frost killed it, so I'll cut that back. I have an agave, and it looks like one stem's alive, so I need to cut that dead out of there. I've got some grass, some I think this is a sedge, some sort of sedge. It's variegated sedge, beautiful. I've got some ajuga that's blooming. This is some bungleweed. Anyway, ajuga. This one's called mahogany, so it's a deep, rich color. And look at those pretty purple blooms. That's gorgeous. Gorgeous. More azaleas. Oh, and my hosta is starting to pop up. This is a hosta called Guacamole. It's also got a giant red ant pile. See all that? That whole container is full of red ants, so I need to clean that out. I've got more of that crocosmia here. Looks like I have some salvia coming back. This is like some sort of rock and blues salvia. Beautiful blue flowers, like true blue, just gorgeous. This is the old salvia skeleton, so I'll cut that back. I do have a iris here, a bearded iris called Clarence. It hasn't bloomed in a few years. More azaleas. More ajuga here. More Gigi Gerbing azalea. And then we have the weeping Japanese maple called Red Select. Arborvitae fern here, but it got some winter burn, so I'm gonna have to cut it back. But there's some, it's still green. So that's an arborvitae fern. And then we got the stones around the porch for free from a neighbor that was getting rid of them. These are moss rock. Once this area is all cleaned up and weeded, it really does look so pretty. I'm really pleased with it. I do want more plants to fill it in, maybe more ferns and heucheras. Just more, that's all. So this concrete pad and sidewalk to the man cave, my husband and I did this in 2020 while we were home for, you know, COVID furlough or whatever you want to call it. He built the porches, which is a mess right now. But porches are huge, but it is full of junk. We're still renovating the laundry room right now, so we got stuff everywhere. More azaleas, more Japanese maples. This is another Red Select, and it looks like it's starting to bud. Here's more of that arborvitae fern. This one didn't get hit so hard with the cold. More ajuga. More, oh, just love that this salvia is just spreading. This salvia is so pretty, and it's just spreading everywhere. I love it. Look at all that salvia. And then this is more crocosmia, bright orange crocosmia. Oh, hey. My Japanese painted fern is actually doing really well. Look at it bouncing back. I love that. One thing that is struggling is my lamb's ear. I had some oh, what is it called? Something Stein lamb's ear. Why can't I think of names today? I think I've had too much wine. Anyway, Von Stein, Gloria Von Stein. My goodness, you know what it is. It's a lamb's ear and it's got Stein in the name. Anyway, so this area between the house and the man cave, I really want to do something with. I think I really want to do like a flagstone patio all in this area, and then have maybe some Edison bulb string lights coming from the house and the porch over to this tree, and have like a little you know, cast iron bistro set or something. I think that'd be really pretty. But, and then plant up this little hill around this tree with like hostas and ferns and pretty things. I do have some Sapphire Showers Duranta. That's what all these dead sticks are. They make a really pretty purple flower, just beautiful purple flower. Anyway, I've got to cut that to the ground. It'll come back from the roots. I see it already starting to come back from the roots. And then I have a rose here. This is called Violet's Pride. Has a beautiful pale lavender rose that's super fragrant, very fragrant. And I've got more of that red canna down there. More Clayera. And then this is a native, can't remember the name. Names are elusive today. But you know those bayberry candle? These little balls on here is the scent. Oh, it's wax myrtle, southern wax myrtle is the plant. There it is. But you can make bayberry wax scented candles with those little berries. And then all this dead stuff here is my passion vine. So I do have a passion flower vine. I've only gotten one passion fruit, and that was last year. And I found it right before the freeze of Elliot, and the freeze killed it. So no passion fruit for me. And then this is a giant hibiscus. Just makes a beautiful, beautiful magenta hibiscus flower with the yellowest of yellow pollen. It's really pretty, really pretty. Bird bath that breeds mosquitoes. That is all that it does. So we're just breeding mosquitoes. I have some things in pots that I need to do something with. I did have a little seating area over here, hence the dilapidated chair and faded pillow. We're gonna have to do something. Anyway, I have some roses propagating here. This one is called a Comte de Chambord. Looks like we're gonna get some blooms. This is one of the most fragrant roses. So part of its parentage is the Gertrude Jekyll, or Gertrude Jekyll has this as one of its parents. Anyway, it smells and looks just like Gertrude Jekyll. So I want to plant this in the potager. So I probably will do that this weekend. And then this is a propagation of the New Dawn rose that's around the porch. Super thorny, but I got to find a place to put it. Oh, let's see. Oh gosh, so many things coming up over here. I had planted some daffodils last year and forgot about it till just right this second. There's my daffodils coming up, along with some crocosmia. Another agave. That's fun. Oh, and my hosta came up. Look. There's a hosta. How pretty. I think this one's called Wolverine. Beautiful. I have some more hostas around this tree. I don't see them just yet. Anyway, along the fence there we have some podocarpus. Trying to make a hedge. It's not really working. We've got some, oh gosh, I can't even remember the name of this one right now. It has really pretty flowers that smell like apricots, but I can't think of the name. And some more azaleas. It's hardy gardenia azalea. We have another Japanese maple that needs to get moved. This is the Emperor One. That's got to get moved. More azaleas. This is Autumn Lily. Autumn Lily. Beautiful. And I have some, what is it, shamrocks? Purple shamrocks. And then this fun massive green here is the Turk's Cap. Really pretty native. It's like a native hibiscus, mallow type. Have some macuba. These bricks, I believe we did buy these. These are cinder blocks, and then we just bought the little squares, little pavers to put on top, and then we painted it with a concrete stain. More azaleas in there, acubas. Got some periwinkles, vinca. Got some Boston ivy. This little arch I got for like 50 bucks at Walmart. Very pleased with that. More azaleas. Here's some butterfly ginger lily coming up. Very pretty. This is a gardenia that I grew from a cutting from our big mother bush gardenia that is since gone. It is no more. So sad about that. And I don't remember what kind of shrub this is. It's an arborvitae. And it's not the emerald green, it's a different arborvitae. But anyway, it's super healthy. It's gotten huge this year. It was teeny tiny when we planted it, and I guess it's happy. It's got little berries on it. Anyway, so around the man cave, we did have more stuff, but it looks like things are dying out and not coming back. We obviously have rodents of some sort and have little holes going under the man cave. This Japanese maple, this red Japanese maple, there's one on either side of the porch, and we got those at Lowe's a couple years ago, maybe 4 years ago. More Akuba japonica down there. So that's the man cave. We'll have to do a tour of that at another time. There's the other red Japanese maple, and then my husband built this porch last year off the back of the man cave. It's huge, huge. So we do want to put some livestock panels like in between each post as fencing, kind of like we did over here. See those livestock panels? So we want to do that same kind of thing over here. So just to give you perspective where we are, we're getting more towards the back of the property. So there's the man cave and the house and the sidewalk to the back porch. The garage is off to the side there. And then we have the sheds. We have beautiful mature oak trees. Like most of this backyard is beautiful oak trees. I love all the trees. Okay, so let's head over here. Of course, in one of my shorts, I posted that we had pumpkins. These pumpkins are growing. They are so happy. Looks like they're about to flower. So that's, that's so crazy. We've got a pear tree here that we transplanted from the front yard into the backyard. It seems to be doing really well. It's been flowering, which is nice. So this is where the mother bush gardenia used to be. Can you tell there's just a big empty hole? It makes me sad. We have one stick, and it did have leaves on it, and then those leaves fell off, so I think it might be dead. That's all that's left of the mother bush. Along this fence here, Blue Point junipers. We have one that's obviously dead. More of the variegated ligustrum, ruby loropetalum. Green giant arborvitae down here. Well, here's one here. This one has grown a little bit, but these ones here, they have stayed the same size since the day we bought them, pretty much. They're just not growing. It's just crazy. This evergreen tree here, that's a holly. Gets beautiful red holly berries, and the birds just love it. But I think all the berries are gone. Yeah, I don't see any more berries. I think they've eaten them all. Continuing down this fence line. Sorry, squirrel. Have another, what is this called? Camellia. Several camellias. This one's not looking so good. That arborvitae's not looking good. That camellia's looking okay. Anyway, so we just have a smattering of different things along this fence. Pretty much the same things, but in different order. Here's some native Carolina jessamine. It's a native vine. Beautiful, beautiful yellow flowers. It gets a little annoying because it gets everywhere, but it is pretty. More variegated ligustrum, ruby loropetalum. More of that Carolina jessamine vine along the fence there. It is pretty. Pretty annoying. There they go. Anyway, we're continuing towards the back. Looks like my husband was burning some twigs and leaves and things. All of that ash, once it cools down, that'll go in my compost bin that I have in the potager. Losing light. So let's hurry up while I still have some light. Back here's a magnolia that was on the property when we bought it. Also some trash that blew in from the fence. Magnolia is magnificent. Big, white, gorgeous flowers. Such a beautiful tree. Big, beautiful leaves. Love it. Southern Magnolia grandiflora. And look at Jane. Magnolia Jane. This one is a deciduous magnolia. It does lose all its leaves, and it flowers in the spring. Beautiful, fragrant lavender blooms. And it's already started to leaf out. She is Magnificent. All right, more podocarpus over here. Just stuff we planted. This is the very first bed, garden bed, that my husband built when we moved on this property. So when he built this bed, there was an RV sitting where that house is. So I've got some more Turk's cap here. This will come back. I can't remember the name of this plant. There's a cultivar of it called spider's web, but I can't remember the name of it. It's got those big palmate leaves, so I'll have to think about that. I really need to pick up those bluebirds and put them somewhere. They look terrible. Anyway, this right here is my beautiful Camellia japonica called White by the Gate, and it had beautiful white blooms and buds all over it, and then Elliot came and just destroyed it. Anyway, here's my Buddha. These little grassy sprouty things are some paper whites, and they bloomed the first year I planted the bulbs and they never bloomed again. So I don't know what paper whites want. Do they want more sun? Do they want to be dug up and put in the refrigerator? I don't know what paper whites want, but they haven't bloomed again. This is a Japanese maple called Oshio Beni. Beautiful Japanese maple. So we have reached the back of the property, 1.3 acres. There it is. We're hoping to get some grass back here. I do have drip tubing run back here, but these trees are massive. Oh, and we do have some resurrection fern on a lot of these oaks. I don't know if you've heard of resurrection fern, but it's pretty cool. It's a fern that will completely emaciate. Like, it can stay alive with losing 98% of its moisture. And so that's what it looks like. And as soon as we get a rain, it'll fluff back out and look like a lush fern. So it's a resurrection fern. It's kind of cool. And I love these trees too that have these little humps on the back. Reminds me of like an elephant or like a dinosaur. And we've got a lot of lichens. Look at all that lichens, pretty cool. A lot of moss. Probably giant spiders and snakes. We do have copperheads back here pretty bad. More podocarpus. That Emperor 1 Japanese maple, I do want to plant that back here in this corner here. So I'm standing at the very back corner, and you can see all the way around the backyard. So this back part is not as landscaped at all as much as the front part. Last year for sure I took off from buying plants. So last year it just wasn't in the budget to buy plants at all. That's why I grew a lot of stuff from seed. Had a lot of seed hauls, bought a lot of seeds. Did not go to the nursery. It would have been irresponsible. So I think this year is going to be the same. 2023, we're not going to buy a lot of nursery plants. I am growing some of our bedding plants from seed. I've got pelargoniums, I've got impatiens, some other flowers. I am going to do some more propagating, especially some of my shrubs and things. I'm just going to take cuttings and rooting hormone and just make more. So that's the plan. This is our place. I'm sure I'm missing something. Like, we don't need to walk around the potager. I show you that every ding dang week. But anyway, this is our home. I love it. This is our property. It's a good size. If I had a drone, this is where I would splice in footage of flying over the whole property, but I do not have that. So anyway, this is it. So it's pretty much dark now. So that's all they do. That's all they do. Anyway, they love each other. I'm sure of it. Anyway, so that's it. That's our place. Things are blooming. Things are sprouting. All the trees have all their little green fuzzy stuff. Girls. All the trees have their green fuzzy things. And they're going to be leafed out soon. So it's kind of fun. Anyway, all right, I'm just yapping now. So thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.